All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, so today we're taking a brand new approach. We have left Unit 1 and now we are going to Unit 2. Unit 2 expounds upon more of the basics. And we're now on Lesson 6. And Lesson 6 is about note values, okay? I'm pretty sure you already see the note values at the bottom. Pretty sure most of us already know what note values are, so it probably shouldn't take that long to explain, okay? So, pretty much, we're going to talk about three of the most basic, count them, 1, 2, 3, three of the most basic note values. And those three, we're going to start off with the biggest one, okay? So, we already knew that notes are placed on the staff, and by their placement on the staff, they determine pitch. Okay? When we first started off determining whether something was higher or lower than a pitch, we just drew an oval, kind of like this, right? But that was the first note that we learned to draw. And the first note that we learned to draw is called a whole note, okay? A whole note receives 4 beats. I'm gonna say that again. That is a whole note. My finger pointing at this right here, let my marker do it. With the black tip, yeah, that right there, you know what that is? Whole note. It is a whole note. It is a whole note. And it receives 4 beats. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats, okay? Now, we're gonna work our way backwards because we started with the biggest one. And the biggest one is a whole note and it gets 4 beats, right? Now we're gonna move to the half note, okay? The half note. What's so special about the half note? Does the half note get half a beat? No, that's just what it's called. Actually, for some reason, because if it's not the whole, then it has to be half of the whole. So half of 4 beats is 2 beats. Okay, so the half note receives 2 beats. I'm gonna say it again. The half note receives 2 beats. And it does still look like a whole note. However, instead of it just being a giant gaping hole, it has a stem coming out of it. So the whole note looks like a seed. The half note looks like a seed with the stem starting to come out of it, okay? So, whole note, 4 beats, half note, 2 beats. Whole note, 4 beats, half note, 2 beats, okay? Now, we're gonna take away from the half and we're gonna go to the quarter, okay? Now, the whole note gets 4 beats, but half of the whole is 2. So the half note gets 2 beats. A quarter of the whole, or 1/4 of the whole 4 beats. Well, if it's 4 beats and I just said 1 of 4, that means that the quarter note gets 1 beat, okay? Quarter note gets 1 beat, all right? Now, we can debate the semantics, how different people learn this, but instead of debating the semantics on how different people learn this, let's actually sit down and have a discussion on how we're going to write these on the staff, okay? So there are certain rules when it comes to the notes that just so happen to have stems, okay? Now I can draw a half note, let me change that. I can draw a whole note anywhere on the staff and I have to worry about the direction of the stem. So for this exercise, we're not gonna worry about the whole note, okay? We're gonna exclude the whole note. You know what? I'm just gonna draw me a whole note right here. There's my whole note, okay? There's my whole note, boom. If I need another whole note, I put me another whole note right there. Boom, got me another whole note. How about right here? 100, there's another whole note. Boom, 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 okay? So I have whole notes there. I don't have to worry about the direction of the whole note because it's just gonna be an oval shaped note symbol, okay? There's no stem. But for the notes that have stems, I have to worry about the direction of the stem. So here's the rule, okay? If I am drawing a quarter note or a half note, because these are the 2 notes that we're talking about today that just so happen to have stems. The quarter note is filled in, the half note is not filled in, but the quarter note and the half note both have stems. Unlike the whole note, it ain't got no stems, okay? So just half note and quarter note that we're talking about that have stems. So if I wanted to draw a quarter note in, I don't know, we'll say I draw the quarter note in the 4th space of the bass clef, right? So I draw me a quarter note, and I started just like this. Now, right? Now, based off of how it looks like right here, you're gonna wanna draw your stem going down just like that, right? However, it's not to say it's completely wrong it is just more so to say that that isn't the correct way to draw the stem. The correct way to draw the stem, and you'll learn this later on when you see this, is that the stem goes down, okay? So the stem goes down on the left-hand side of the note. Now, if I were to draw another quarter note, and let's say I decided to put it in the second space, right? And I draw my stem upwards. That's right. If I were to come here and I were to draw my stem downwards, that would be wrong. Can I tell you why it would be wrong? Okay. So I didn't make the rules. However, the rules state that when drawing the stems on a note head that just so happens to have stems, when drawing the stem on a note head that just so happens to have a stem, if it is on the third line or above the third line, you're going to draw the stem going downwards on the left-hand side of the note. If it is below, or, my bad, what I was taught, if it's on or below the third line, you draw the stem going upwards out of the right side of the note head. Now, in the third line, let's say I have a note right here on the third line, right? Put a note on the third line. I can draw the stem going upwards on the right-hand side, or I can have a stem going downwards on the left-hand side, because the middle line is a median space, it's a neutral space, which means it can either go up or it can go down. You typically tend to want to draw it going up when the next note is going down. You want to draw the stem going downwards on the left-hand side if the next note is going up, okay? So, we just learned about musical notes, musical notes, musical notes, musical notes. So, for now, ooh, I need my eraser. Oh, that was just bad. Yeah. So now, we can take it to a completely different perspective, okay? And I say we're gonna take it to a completely different perspective. We're gonna erase also these whole notes as well, all right? So now, let's say I draw a half note on the first space of the bass clef, right? So I'm in the bass clef staff. How am I supposed to draw the stem? Sometimes people will ask, what about the length of the stem? Well, you're gonna wanna draw the length of the stem all the way up to the line in which the next note is, okay? See how that is? So this is F. The next time you'll see F on the staff will be where? At the fifth, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, let me change that. In the bass clef, this is A, excuse me. This is A. You're gonna draw the line going all the way up to the next space or the next line that has that note head on it. So A, I know in the bass clef, my lines are good boys do fine always, G, B, D, F, and A. Wait, I just figured that out. Where's this note? It's on space 1. What are my spaces? A, C, E, G. The first space is A. The fifth line is also A. So where does my line stop? My line stops at the fifth line, okay? Same thing if I were to do it drawing the stem going downwards. I draw in, let's say I put a G here in the fourth space, okay? If I'm gonna draw the stem going downwards, the stem still goes down to where the G was originally. So where's the G originally in the bass clef? Good, oh wait, G, first line, good, G, G, G. So when I draw my stem coming from this, I draw it down to where the next note or where the next G or the previous G would have been, okay? Just like that. So we have learned that quarter notes get 1 beat, half note gets 2 beats, whole note gets 4 beats. I taught it to you backwards, like half note gets 4 beats. I'm sorry, excuse me. I taught it to you backwards, like whole note gets 4 beats, half note gets 2 beats, and quarter note gets 1 beat. You know that the quarter note and the half note are the only 2 notes that have stems, and the direction of the stems are going to be determined by the placement of the note on the staff. Just like pitch, okay? So if this note is on line 3 or above, you're going to draw the stem going out of the left-hand side of the note head, going downwards. If the note head is on or below the third line, you're going to draw the stem coming out of the right-hand side of the note going up. Let me give a demonstration. If the note head is on or above the third line, I'm gonna put it in the third space just to make it clear, give you a little visual. Okay? You're gonna draw the stem going down the left-hand side of the note head. Boom, shaka laka. One time, if the note is on or below the third line, I'm just gonna put it in space 2 just to make it easy for a visualization. You see it in space 2? You see it in space 2? Because I put it in space 2. You're gonna draw the stem coming out of the right-hand side of the note and going upwards, just like that. So now you know how to draw notes, you know how to specify notes, and you know how to properly illustrate them on the stab. So guess what? I thank you for rocking with me, and I'll see you later.